Hello, this is Wolfman611 from wolfmansbites.com, and this is video review number 12. It's the Bluemic Yeti, THX certified, by the way. It comes with a nice, right here, nice USB cable. That cable there is about 12 feet long, and the cable plugs into the bottom here. This is going to be tricky to see this right here. So you can see the bottom here, you can see that there's a little mini USB jack. There's a hole right in the center. And then you got the, well, not quite the center, but then off to the side of that, you got the actual 1/8 headphone jack. Now, what's interesting about all this is the hole in the center allows you to actually, oh yeah, and that's something else. This is a top-down shot in terms of video, so that's why I got the mic sitting like this. Normally, when you're looking at the mic head on, you'd be looking at it like that. But because the camera's overhead, I had to pull it back. But overall, pretty good mic. It's got decent quality. It records at, I think it's 44. I think it'll go up to 48 kilohertz in terms of recording. But it does do 44.1, I think it is, which is your standard CD stereo stuff. Now, if you look at the front, you see the two buttons there. Actually, well, one button, one dial. You see the volume dial, and then right above that here, you got the mic mute. And when you hit that, obviously it does what it says and mutes the mic. The volume dial here controls the plug down here, the 1/8 headphone jack. Now, that's something, if you're not familiar with these types of mic, when you plug this mic into your computer, it becomes not only your mic for recording, so basically your sound card for recording, it also becomes a sound card to play back sound. So if you're watching a movie or MP3s or whatever and you got this thing plugged in, all the audio will be routed to this, and you listen to that through the headphone jack. If you're using Windows, you can turn on and select on the mixer which device you want to have active, whether it's a sound card or this thing, so you're not totally screwed if you plug this in and you want to hear your sound card instead of hear this thing. Volume, it's got lots of volume. I was using AKG, I think it's K240 studio headphones, which require quite a bit of, power to actually drive them headphones, and this mic was able to do it no problem at all. One thing I should mention is that this hole that you see right here by my thumb, the good thing about that is it allows you to take this mic off this desktop stand that it's sitting on right now, or desktop stand, and it's weighted down too. It's pretty heavy, so when you sit this thing down, the mic's really not going to be doing too much moving around. But say you wanted to get it off the stand, and one reason why you might want to get it off the stand is my computer here, my big tower computer, it's on like a two-tier desk, so the computer's sitting on the second tier, which is the highest one, and the keyboard and everything else is lower. That computer has two 240mm fans. They're not really fast RPM fans, but because they're big, they're slow, and they actually draw a lot of air that way. The problem is that if I set this mic on that desktop, it doesn't so much pick up the actual sound of the fans because they really don't make too much noise, but it does pick up, though, is the vibration right through the desk, and it goes right into that mic stand. I think the mic stand must amplify it, and then that gets fed into the Yeti. That you do not want. Doesn't sound too good. When I first tested the mic, I had it sitting on the desk, and I went through a couple paragraphs of text that I was reading into it, and the only thing I could hear in the background was the stupid whine of these fans on the computer. So getting back to the hole there, that hole is a standard size threaded hole that if you have like a standard microphone stand with a boom on it, you can turn around and screw the boom right into that hole and then get that mic. You just loosen these dials off here on the side, and this whole unit comes right off the actual mic stand. Then you can put the mic itself on a standard microphone stand and then not have any issues in terms of vibrations being fed through a desk and into the base of that, so on and so forth. When you turn the mic around, give it a little bit of a whirl here. What you see on the back, and this is where the bread and butter of this mic comes in, is you have a mic gain dial right here. And then here you got the polar patterns. Now, what the polar patterns do is they allow basically the capsules within inside the mic be configured in terms of how they're going to run. So, for example, if you put it on this one here, which is the second one over from the last one, when you have it in that mode, only audio coming into the front of the mic, basically when the mic's faced like this. So if you're talking right through here, up here, only that capsule's activated. So only that gets picked up audio-wise, and that's what you want. If you're doing a podcast by yourself, and you want to get all the ambiance of your voice or whatever, you want to be in that mode and talking to the front of the mic. The mic gain is also good to have. The interesting thing about the mic gain is I had this thing sitting on a mic stand, and I decided I was actually going to talk probably about 2 inches away from the mic. And the microphone was so sensitive, I had to turn the mic gain pretty much right where it is right now, which is off. And even with it off, you still had tons of audio coming through the mic. So that's a good thing. It's got power to spare in terms of that. Where you'd want to turn the gain up is if you're in a situation where, you know, you're trying to record a bunch of people sitting around a table talking or something like that. Then you want to turn the gain up so you get to hear everybody. That's another nice little feature too. You know, the fact that they give you 12 feet of USB cable, that means you can turn around and put this mic pretty much wherever you want it. And have lots of room to be able to move it around. So that's pretty much it. It's about 150 bucks. The only downside I would say to it, well, maybe two things. I think that the fact that it was picking up the audio through the bass, like there's no, this stand that it's sitting on is pretty much it's a hard stand. Like the mic's not actually suspended because these screws are on the side, so it's all basically, when you tighten these screws up, it's all one unit. So anything coming through the bass goes right into the mic in terms of audio. So any vibrations or anything like that. But the good thing about it is, like I said, you got the hole here, and you just stick it in, you know, put a standard microphone stand in there, and away you go. The one thing that really I wasn't too happy with is these volume dials. The one here, I don't know if you can actually see, you probably see it right there in the video, but I can wiggle that side to side. You know, right there, with hardly any effort at all, it goes side to side. Same with the back one here. This, the gain dial right here, same thing. That's also, so you can see it there, going side to side. Now, some people might not care about that, but to me, I mean, the overall mic quality, when you look at it, looks like a pretty, you know, fairly high-end microphone. It is 150 bucks after all. They got the chrome on it, the stand looks nice, a good color, you know, silver color. And then you turn around and you go up to the volume dial, and it doesn't want to, it just wiggles around. It's just like, what? It sort of takes the idea of a high-end microphone and sort of drops it down a few notches because of these wiggling knobs. The pattern selector knob, that one there, that's perfect. That's nice and tight. You can move that one around, no problem. There's no wiggling there. It's a good tight switch. So that's pretty much it. 150 bucks. The Bluemic, or I should say, it's made by Bluemic. It's called the Yeti. USB. It's good for Mac or Windows. I tried it on Windows 7 there, had no issues. Oh, I even went a step further and tried it in Ubuntu. And unlike my Fast Track Pro, which seems to give Ubuntu fits, this thing here, I plugged it in and it was ready to go. It just worked. Now, that could be because the Fast Track Pro, I'm trying to record at a higher kilohertz rating, and so that's given Ubuntu issues. And this thing here records at a lower setting, and there's just no issues. But anyway, either way, it works under Ubuntu, it works under Windows. The actual audio quality, that's what I should say before I go. The best audio quality I got is putting that thing to my, probably about maybe an inch, 2 inches away from my face. The problem you get when you do that, and I talk about this in a text review, don't forget to go read the text review on this on wolfmansbites.com. But one of the problems is once you get that close to the mic, within an inch or two of the mic, you need a pop filter, because all the p sounds and tuss sounds and things like that will actually make like a thumping sound in the mic. And that's not a knock against this mic. That's like that. You put yourself that close in front of a condenser mic, even some non-condenser mics, you get the same problem. So you'll want to either buy a pop filter, which is like a 4-inch circle with some nylon, almost like what do you call that? Like stocking material type of stuff. And that will actually cut the puss sounds out of there and the toots sounds. So like the actual wind doesn't go through the netting, and so therefore you don't get them thumping sounds going into the mic. So that's the only thing about the mic. If you're going to get that close to it, you want to get one of those pop filters. If you go on YouTube and do a search for pop filter, you'll see that users on there have made, you know, some pretty fancy ones, some really, really, really quick and dirty ones, but they work, they do the job. So there you go. This is Wolfman611 from wolfmansbites.com. This is the Bluemic Yeti, and time for me to sign out. Take it easy.